In the twilight of a golden age, a kingdom stands at a crossroads. Its greatest king, David, a man after God's own heart, lies on his deathbed. His voice, once a roar that echoed through battlefields, is now a whisper, heavy with the weight of a crown and the burden of a legacy. He looks to his son, Solomon, and with his final breaths, passes the torch. Be strong, he commands, show yourself a man. Walk in the ways of the Lord your God. Keep his statutes, his commandments, his rules, and build him a house, a temple for his name, the dream I could never fulfill. The mantle of an empire now rests on young shoulders. Solomon, feeling the immense pressure, goes before God not with a request for power or riches, but with a humble heart. Give your servant a discerning heart, he prays, to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. And God, pleased with this selfless plea, pours out a blessing unlike any other. He grants Solomon wisdom that astonishes the world, wealth beyond imagination, and a reign of unprecedented peace. Kings and queens travel from distant lands just to hear his words, the legend of his judgment, his proverbs, his songs, and his knowledge of the natural world spreads to the four corners of the earth. Under his hand, Israel reaches its zenith. The promise to David is fulfilled, and the magnificent temple, shimmering with gold and cedar, finally rises in Jerusalem, a glorious home for the presence of the Almighty. For a time, it seems like paradise on earth, but a shadow begins to creep into the heart of the wise king. Power corrupts, and comfort breeds complacency. Solomon, in his pursuit of political alliances and personal pleasure, takes hundreds of foreign wives and concubines, and with them, they bring their gods. The man who built God's temple now builds altars to Ashtoreth, Molech, and Chemosh on the very hills overlooking Jerusalem. His heart, once wholly devoted to the Lord, is now divided. The spiritual poison of idolatry begins to seep into the nation's soul. God's anger is kindled. The message is delivered, a prophecy of heartbreak. Because you have turned away, the kingdom will be torn from your son. The unity, the peace, the glory, it will all be shattered, and so it was. After Solomon's death, the kingdom fractures. The 10 northern tribes rebel, forming the nation of Israel, while the southern tribes of Judah and Benjamin remain loyal to David's line, becoming the nation of Judah, the new king of Israel. Jeroboam, consumed by fear of losing his people to the temple in Jerusalem, commits a terrible sin. He erects 2 golden calves, one in Dan and one in Bethel, declaring, "Here are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." He creates a new priesthood, a new festival, a new religion. It is a spiritual point of no return. A tragic pattern is set in motion, a grim echo of the time of the judges. The people sin, God sends judgment, they suffer, and the cycle repeats. King after king rises in Israel, and nearly everyone walks in the way of Jeroboam, leading the nation deeper and deeper into the darkness of idolatry. This descent into godlessness stains the chronicles of both kingdoms, while a few kings of Judah try to steer the nation back to God. Like King Asa, who did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, most follow the path of rebellion. In the north, the story is even bleaker. The line of kings is a gallery of rogues. Jeroboam, the originator of the sin, Baasha, who wiped out Jeroboam's family only to continue his idolatry. And then came the one who would redefine wickedness, a king who did more to provoke the Lord to anger than all the kings of Israel before him. His name was Ahab. What made Ahab the worst? He didn't just tolerate idolatry, he institutionalized it. He married Jezebel, a Phoenician princess and a fanatical priestess of Baal. Together, they launched a state-sponsored war on the God of Israel. Jezebel systematically hunted and executed the Lord's prophets, replacing them with hundreds of prophets of Baal and Asherah who ate at the royal table. Under their rule, child sacrifice, ritual prostitution, and demonic worship became the official religion of the land. The spiritual light of the nation was almost completely extinguished. Israel was drowning in a sea of its own sin, its leadership corrupt, its people lost. But in the darkest night, a single star can burn the brightest. Into this world of apostasy steps a man of God, a figure as rugged and untamed as the wilderness he came from. His name is Elijah the Tishbite. He is God's fiery answer to Ahab and Jezebel. Bold, uncompromising, and utterly fearless, he appears before the king and declares, "As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years except at my word." He is a lone voice, crying out in a nation that has forgotten its God, a living confrontation to the powers of darkness. Through him, God would show that he had not abandoned his people, even in their rebellion. He would challenge the false gods on their own turf and call his people to make a choice. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal is God, follow him. The stage is set for an epic showdown between the lone prophet and the might of a pagan empire. Miracles will clash with magic, fire will fall from heaven, and the heart of a nation will hang in the balance. Yet, despite the warnings, despite the powerful displays of God's reality, the tragic cycle continues. The kings of Israel and Judah, with few exceptions, choose the path of idols, power, and self-destructs. Each generation seems to drift further from the covenant their fathers made, ignoring the prophets and hardening their hearts. The story of 1 Kings is a sobering testament to the human heart's tendency to wander, and the devastating consequences of turning away from the one true God. It's a story of splendor and ruin, wisdom and foolishness, faith and failure, setting the stage for the even greater judgments and the faint glimmers of hope that are yet to come. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into the scriptures.